Hello everyone, this is Gasoline Based, and this video is going to present to you all the new weapons and all the major changes to the old weapons that were balanced around. Valve tweaked the stats on them a little bit. So this video is going to present you with all that. There's going to be two perspectives on this matter, on the new weapons and the changes. There's going to be mine, from the competitive perspective, and then I brought in another YouTuber, Bazzoka. You might already know him. He is one of my favorite YouTubers, and I brought him in to help with the public player, the pub experience perspective, because I think he has a lot more depth in that perspective because he plays pubs a lot more than I do. So I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Enjoy. Alright, I'm not sure what we should start with. I'm not sure if we want to go over we can go over the Scattergun thing, just for a pub perspective. I can make a prediction, but because I haven't tried it, I can't really give a proper opinion on it. But I do want to talk about the Airstrike combined with the base jumper. You've probably tried that out, I'm sure.
Oh yes, and even if I haven't tried that out, so many people are using it.
Yeah, it's really a popular, also because they go so well together. So
oh yeah,
when I first picked this weapon up, I thought it says on the weapon, it says increased attack speed while blast jumping, and I thought that blast jumping was simply this rocket jumping. Oh wait, let me retest that.
yeah, I'll let you do that.
Oh yeah, it does. I thought it was only when you that's what I initially thought. I must have screwed up somehow because I must have screwed up somehow because it seemed to me that the attack speed was only increased when you used the parachute thing. But if it's like that, then it's a real troublemaker then. And
oh yeah,
here's why. So you can get up to 8 rockets with this. 8 rockets.
it starts 5. Wow.
Yeah, once you've gotten 5 kills with it, of course you're only starting with 3 and they're not as powerful. Once you've gotten 8 rockets, and you fire them at twice the speed, so you fire them at the speed of 4 rockets. So you're getting a lot of damage out in a very short time. And if this is allowed in competitive, this is gonna be the ultimate roamer weapon. At least if you can get those first kills, you're gonna have to stay very passive. But once you've gotten 8 rockets in your clip, that's a lot. And see how fast they fire. Even though they do how much damage they do 25% less damage and 15% blast radius. So that's, you could say that it's 33% less damage. But if you have twice the amount of rockets in twice the amount of time,
they moved to lobbies.
Wait, what happened? Someone put up a new channel. Never mind. So when you have twice the rockets at half the time, that 30% damage or damage penalty is not going to be a lot.
Yeah.
And if you equip it with the gunboats, you're gonna have a lot of health while jumping.
Oh yes, yes you will.
But I could see it with the parachute. I could see it as the go-to pub stomp weapon for the soldier, because people can't airshot reliably. So it's gonna be very easy to just pop on up, do the thing, and then just rain hell upon people with 8 rockets.
Oh yes, even against heavies I've seen with Airstrike base jumper combo against the heavy had a really hard time shooting him down because he was strafing so much. So it was just he ended up killing the heavy.
Yeah, and now that heavy's been nerfed, the fact that let me see if I can show that actually. The fact that it now takes 1 second after you started, I think it's when you start spinning up. It takes 1 second for the spread to normalize. Let me see.
Oh yes, I do believe it was a damage and the spray radius.
Oh my god, these Brett's mittens are looking around. That's disgusting. And oh my god, they're snapping. Wow. All right, let's see. Yeah, it fires, and then like it normalizes. It fires in like a larger radius. So first of all, you gotta spin it up, and then you have to start firing.
I guess they realized the whole surprise heavy.
Yeah, really, it would be interesting to see if the... Oh wow, I'm dropping a lot of frames. Let me see if I can delete something. It would be interesting to see if the Tomislav now had that attribute removed, because that might be viable then as a surprise weapon for like roaming heavies.
It wasn't working. All right.
Alright, well, I switched over to demo, so now frame drop shouldn't matter.
Alright.
What were we talking about? The base?
The heavy.
Oh, the heavy, yeah. And the
yeah.
base jumper. So yeah, if the Tomislav instead had the attribute that it would fire with the normal spread, like instantly, then maybe it would be viable as a roaming heavy weapon, because right now it's pretty much a straight downgrade. There's no reason to use it. The spin up is not even silent.
Yeah, that's right. So maybe if that was a unique item, then it would make people use the Tomislav even more than they would normally.
Especially because like roaming heavies was a thing, and this is pretty much impossible now, because you have to take 2 full seconds before you fire till you fire accurately or somewhat accurately. So like that's not going to be a surprise when your minigun is sounding like a train passing by.
Yeah.
Let's see, which other weapons did we get? We got the sniper rifle. Let me hop on over to that one real quick. The classic.
You want me to go?
Oh yeah, you can go pick that up as well. Okay, go ahead and type this into console. That will give you a 5,000 overheal, so we can test the damage. Got it?
All
yeah,
right.
seems so.
Yep.
So the deal with this weapon is that you can charge and fire shots independent of zoom, so you can charge up your shot while not being in scope, and you can move freely when you when you're not scoped. Like your movement is not restricted, you can move around freely.
Yeah.
And the cons are that you can't get headshots when you're not fully charged. You have to be fully charged in order to get a headshot. And there's 10% damage, minus 10% damage on body shots. That means that you can't body shot a medic, because let's see how much a body shot does. 135 there. 135. So let's see. Yeah, it's 135 on a full non-scope body shot charge. Let's see how much it is scoped. Should be the same. Wait, oh, you have to hold it in. That's right. Yeah, 135. And you can't do headshots. Like it's not doesn't matter if you're in scope or not. If you want to do a headshot, you have to fully charge it up first. Yeah, and that does a 450. So the only way that you can kill a medic in one shot is if you fully charge a headshot. Kind of like if you want to kill a heavy.
Pretty much.
And look, it looks really cool, sounds really cool, and like the sound wave that comes like when the bullet goes through the air, like it's a cool weapon, but to me I don't really see the like. It's not even good for like. I could see this being a good mechanic in sniper v sniper, but if you can't headshot like unless you're fully charged, then what's the point? And you can't
Yeah.
charge, like you're still slowed down if you want to charge up a shot.
Yeah, the problem that I think that this weapon has is that you need to employ a really different play style when you're using this because
I'm just not sure what that playstyle involves. Like most weapons, I can see that there's like the Scottish resistance. Let's say pre-demo nerf. Let's talk about the demo nerfs later. But pre-demo nerf, when the stickies were very powerful, there was really no reason to use the Scottish resistance. But the theory behind it, it was easy to understand that it was more of a defensive weapon for traps and stuff. I just really can't see the playstyle that you would add to this weapon, or you would use with this weapon that would make it like better in some situations than stock.
yeah, I like yourself. I do like this weapon a whole lot, but even as like a not competitive player, it's very hard to use normally.
I did play a bit with it on process, and I found that one thing that you could do is like let's come over here and imagine that there's a shutter here. So I would like go. I would not know what was behind the side. I would charge up my shot, go out the shutter, and I could see everything. And then I would fire off a body shot and hurt someone.
Right.
But that's really the only. And even then, it's not going to be enough to reliably kill anything but a scout and an engineer. So and a spy, of course, without a dead ringer. So I'm not really like sure how to use it.
Okay, the problem with it is that since you can only get headshots when you're fully charged, I've seen lots of players, and myself included, just walk around corners just charging, and that's a problem because you're only focused on one part, so you could get ambushed from any side like you would normally. So even if you're not scoped in, you're still blind from basically all areas because you essentially get tunnel vision because you're just focusing so hard.
That is one thing that if you like it, of course you still like you have to keep your eyes on the target, but you can maneuver around like very easily before you take your shot to make sure that it's in the scope. But you have to focus on the target for a long time to make sure that it's the right place and you can hit the shot reliably still. So it's not a big benefit.
Yeah.
All right, so. If anyone has, like, I'm sure someone would tell me how wrong I am about this weapon at some point. But I think that this is currently not a weapon that I'm going to use, except for the looks, pretty much like the Hitman's Heatmaker. I love that weapon. I hate how it works, because I don't think it's good. But I love the sound, and I love the looks of it.
Personally, this kind of looks like a reskin for the Upper Hand or something.
Yeah, it does actually, and this kind of that like modern style rifle, whereas the Bizarre Bargain and the sniper rifle seem a bit more aged. And then we got the Machina, which is a Deus Ex, so that's kind of out of that league.
Yeah, it's super futuristic.
I want to see how that. Can you hop on back to the Scattergun for a second?
Sure thing.
You can just no-clip there if you wish.
I think I'll just walk there.
I want to see how the damage works on the scatter and like point blank and mid range and from behind and stuff. So if we were just like point blank, let me hurt myself a bit. There we go. Hop on here and do a point blank shot. How much damage?
104.
104. Okay, so does it have a damage penalty?
No, it has 0 damage penalties aside from not being able to get crits.
Okay, so the nerfs are that you can't crit, you can't get crits, and
well, you can't get random crits, and it has 20% less. It has 20% less accuracy.
Okay, and it does mini crits point blank from behind.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say a mid-range shot. How much does that do?
29.
Wow, that is
The
not a
accuracy
lot.
accuracy is terrible.
Yeah, this is really an ambush weapon. Let's try like this did 140, right?
Yes, around 140.
Okay, 140. That's enough to one-shot a lot of classes. So, oh wow, new rings. That's enough to one-shot a lot of classes. So, I'm gonna have to test it out. It's probably gonna be banned from competitive, just like everything else. And we're probably gonna see the rocket launcher and I'm not sure about the parachute, but the parachute in competitive, you're gonna get popped out of the air as soon as you deploy it. In pubs, it might be useful, but in competitive, I can't see it being used.
Yeah, the base jumper is most likely just for having fun, just staying in the air as long as you can.
I've wanted for a long time, even though that I'm not a rocket jumper user a lot and a market gardener, but I think a lot of people wanted a weapon that, instead of the man threats, that could take your fall damage away, because it would make it a lot more viable to or much more fun, and you can always stay alive and pick up health packs, and you would keep yourself alive that way with the rocket jumper, the market gardener, and that's what they got. Like, you can float around, and even if you float around with the parachute, you can still market gardener and it still crits, and you can surf very fast over long distances, and you can get behind people if people don't look up and market gardener their medic. So I'm thinking that's going to be very fun for high tower and stuff.
Oh yes, puppers will have a great time with a rocket jumper, the base jumper, and a market gardener now.
Yeah, absolutely. Try hurting yourself or giving yourself some extra HP, like 1,000 or something, because I want to test the new Extinguisher, how much damage that does. Alright, so normally this would do 195, now it does 90 damage. Yeah, 90 damage every time. That's what I feared. To me, this weapon is completely useless now, because if I did this, that would do a 9... Oh, wow, wait. There we go. 90 damage. Yeah, 90 damage. And if these two weapons do the same amount of damage, the difference is I can shoot from here, get 90 damage, and I can shoot from all the way over here and get 90 damage. Oh wow, you actually died. I'm so sorry. but the Extinguisher, before, you could if you get up close, you would be rewarded with a lot of damage. Now you do the same damage with the flare gun, and well, the flare gun is harder to hit, but it's not harder to hit at point blank range. Like, I can hit you just as easily with the Extinguisher here as I can with the flare gun, and you can't hit someone with the Extinguisher here or over here. So I mean, and even a shotgun shot, a point blank shotgun shot where the Extinguisher would does more than 90 damage. So I'm not sure about the Extinguisher is powerful, but I think Valve did the right thing when they introduced the power jack, because almost every great pyro used the power jack nowadays, because it's simply better than the Extinguisher. So instead of nerfing the Extinguisher, they provided a better alternative that's not as... I don't think the Extinguisher was broken, but some people considered it broken, and now it's completely useless. It's basically the sharpened volcano fragment if you use your secondary well.
Well, speaking from a bit of experience against good pyros who use the Extinguisher, the problem as being a medic, you can't really defend yourself very well. So if you're caught alone and you have a pyro using the Extinguisher, he can just basically run up to you, and the only thing that you can hope for is to get random crits, and otherwise you'll be dead. And even if you're facing him, it's just I'm dead. So with the nerf, pub medics might have a better chance of living now, but that's...
Yeah, that's probably right. And you know, TF, it's clear to see all these weapons and all these nerfs. TF is a pub game, and I accept that, because it was made as a pub game that was never meant to be a competitive game mode that, you know, featured other elements than the pub gameplay. And every update is is made around the pub gameplay, and people in the competitive community have to accept that, because 99% of people who play TF2 play public servers, and they don't give a crap about how it is in competitive, and Valve doesn't give a crap about competitive. And you know, when you say it like that, I can easily see why it might have been a pain in the ass in pubs. So yeah, and the same with let's go to the demo. The demo. Let me hop over to the Demoman real quick, because the Demoman got an absolutely huge nerf in this update. I actually played an official. I subbed as in an official game of 6v6 as his Demoman, and my stickies were doing 20 to 35 damage per sticky when I was demo spamming, as people like to call it. That's not a lot of damage, like, because your damage ramp up. The thing is, stickies. If I just put a sticky on you, do you have a lot of health?
Let me give me some more health just in case.
All right. So
okay.
Pre-update, if I did this and it was and it landed like right on top of you, it would do 130 damage, like around that. That's like the max damage you can do, and it didn't care if it was like this close to you or if it like I shot it from all over here. If it was close to you, it did a lot of damage. Now, in the update, it did that. What happened was that it will only do full damage 2 seconds after it's deployed. So there it will do full damage. You see, it did a lot. It did 105 there. It did a 50 there. So that means that doing this is not a very effective technique of playing Demoman right now. Simply because your damage is more than halved when you do that. So setting traps. How much health do you have?
I'm still in the 4,000s.
Okay. Oh wow. Setting traps is still the same damage, but using stickies as an offensive weapon is not very useful. And a lot of people are very upset about that in the comp environment. But again, Demo was an outrageously powerful class in public servers because of the extreme damage potential, and there's no focus calls and stuff, so it's very hard to take down a Demoman because there's so many players and stuff, and he has a great area denial and so much damage output. So they had to nerf him in pubs, and you know how it is, like a demo and a medic with crits who know what they're doing can basically wipe the other team. Like, there's not a lot they can do to counter it.
It's the bane of my existence as another medic.
Yeah, exactly. And the same thing with heavy. You know when a heavy medic combo teams together on one team, and they just like the cards never stopped, you know. And that's what they saw, and they had to change that because heavy medic combos were outrageously powerful in public servers. Heavy is not very powerful, not in 6v6 at least. Heavy is not very powerful because you have focus calls, and he can't escape. If every player on your team focused the heavy, there's nothing he can do. He can't escape, and he's gonna die. But there's no such thing in public servers because, like, it's so uncoordinated, of course. And you know, that's again, Valve cares about the pub servers because it's their game. Like, that's TF2. Comp is not really TF2 to Valve.
Yeah, they're looking to make the biggest majority happier with the game so that even more people will join in. So nerfing the outrageously overpowered things is it's better for the general public, even though the competitive side might not quite agree with such things.
Yeah, and I completely understand it. Like, it's from a marketing point of view, like, they're not making TF2 to make people happy. They're making a game and keeping it going because they earn money. If they don't earn money, they're not going to keep making it, you know, keeping servers up and stuff. They make money. They make money mainly from pub players. And so, because pub players is like 99% of people, and therefore they're going to, you know, it's their game, quote unquote, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so it's their game. They decide what goes, and there's not too much that we can do besides just roll with it.
Yeah, and like TF2 was never meant to be competitive at all. Like you see games as Dota 2, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Go, like they have built-in matchmaking system and ranking for competitive play. Like they're obviously made to have competitive, and the Valve cares about the competitive environment because that is their game. Their game is competitive. This was never a competitive game, and it probably will never be. But people are always gonna find some gimmick to make something competitive. Like most games are competitive in some way, like, but it's often not supported by the game company.
Right. So they just have to do what they can, and well, that's the TF2 competitive scene.
Worst part is that I just bought a strange specialized killstreak extinguisher, and now I completely regret that because it's never gonna go level up. I did buy a power jack as well, so I'm settled in.
Well, that's good then.
Dude, you had the chance to play with what's it called, the Eureka effect. How do you find
that? Oh yes, the Eureka effect. As a person who mostly plays pubs, or who only plays pubs rather, the Eureka, I had never seen the Eureka effect ever be used. Maybe once or twice on the very rarest of occasions, and nothing has changed about that.
No.
And I mean, an engineer who can't move his buildings is a little bit of a dead weight, because then he has to spend time building his stuff back up. So Valve, I guess, decided that they change it so you can, but it would essentially take the same amount of time if an engineer were to destroy his building and then to rebuild it back up at a different spot, I guess.
And I watched your video on it, and quite right, you said that you would be able to, in the time it takes to build a level 3 sentry with the Eureka effect, you would be able to build 2 level 3 sentries. Like you would be able to build a sentry, destroy it, then build a new one in the same time.
Yeah, so I think that's what they thought, like, hey, it takes this long, so how about we half the Eureka effects everything, so that way it takes the same amount of time, but they can just move their stuff afterwards.
So, like in the competitive, I've heard that it was used, and the way it was used, that the engineers, like, there's a meta spot for, let's say, bad order. The spot for your sentry is almost always on the cliff. It's like the spot, and you wrangle it from there and stuff. So you don't really need to move it, so that's not a big issue, you know? And what he could do was, once the Uber came in, he could wrangle it, and then he could teleport to spawn to safety. And then when the sentry went down, he would already be able to start building a new one. But if we're gonna use it now in, let's say, a Highlander, your sentry is gonna be level 2 when the enemy comes out, or not even level 2, and your dispenser's not gonna be up, your teleporter's not gonna be up. Like, it's so very little viable for competitive right now, and it seems like just it seems to make it even more like nesting on last than ever, because it takes so long time to build it up and repair it.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's promoting to build up on last, and then if it's okay to pick it up and then move forward. So that's
yeah. But I watched the video by High GPS. He proposed something that you can do instead of like having it like make it the same, like make it as it is now with the normal upgrades or and stuff. But instead of not being able to move it, he said like this: let's say that your sentry is there, you go pick it up. Yeah, you go pick it up, then you can't walk. You can put it somewhere else, but you can't walk away. And the same way, like you can't build it up and spawn, then pick it up and go into your teleporter, because like you can't move with it. So you can move it around, but you can't walk with the pack itself.
That Seems like a very interesting idea. I don't know how well that would go over, though.
No, I me neither. But like, it would be. I think it would be like anything but what it is now would be better. Like it's like weapons are supposed to make the game more fun, and if there's a situation where you're getting rolled, it's supposed to make use of unlocks to like some unlocks are better for certain situations, for they're situational, so you can use those instead. Like this just makes it not as fun to play engineer. Like it's already tedious to get your buildings up level 3. This just makes it so much more work for the same, really. And once your buildings go down, like you're gonna have ages before you're gonna have anything again.
Yeah, it takes a really long time to build your stuff up, and it makes your buildings just that much more precious. And if it's destroyed, you might as well just not use the Eureka effect again.
I do want to say though, I can see if you're gonna use a primary weapon with it, you're gonna use the Rescue Ranger, because you can't repair your building at all. Like you cannot repair your building. You can repair like what 60 damage or something per hit. And since there's no damage fall off, a rocket is still gonna do 90 damage when it hits. So the Rescue Ranger is where it's at. If you're gonna use, if you have to use the Eureka effect, if you think it's great, then you might as well go with the Rescue Ranger if you want to keep it alive.
Yes, because since you only repair half, it's insanely hard to keep your buildings alive normally. So the best choice would be to have a loadout that prevents it from taking damage, or using the Rescue Ranger as well. So Rescue Ranger, short circuit, or the Wrangler to stop damage.
So either the short circuit or the Wrangler for incoming damage and stuff, because your buildings are gonna be so squishy.
Yeah.
That's what you get for touching that.
Let's see. There wasn't any more weapons. Were there any changes to? Oh yeah, there was a minor change to the Wrangler that it now takes damage fall off when you shoot outside the normal sentry sphere.
Yes.
I think that's okay. Like, and like you can say that heavy got nerfed and demo got nerfed, but then some classes got buffed as well, because the engineer now got a buff, and I think that actually is needed, at least for competitive. I'm not sure about pubs. I don't think it needs a buff in pubs. It's already very powerful to have like 4 level 3 sentries on your point. But in competitive, the sentry is always going to go down. Like, as an engineer, it's almost not possible to keep your sentry up during an enemy move because it's getting focused so much. So when the stickies do a lot less damage, it's going to be a lot easier to keep your sentry alive against the demo push. And I'm not sure how demo is going to be working with pushes now in Highlander.
That is a very interesting way to look at it. Yeah, so essentially, instead of looking at as heavies and demos being nerfed, you could essentially look on the positive side and say engineers have been buffed. Here you go.
Yeah, because it's all relative, and that way soldiers bombing and scouts flanking, like it's for me it's easy to kill a heavy in a pub, but that's also because I have a lot of experience with TF2, and they might not have a lot of experience with TF2. But 2 people at the same level, a scout is not going to kill a heavy. Now might be, at least, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's less tedious, or it's less hard to do because of the time he has to spin up. So if you hit 2 good shots before he spins up, you're pretty well set. And the same as a soldier, because it's going to be hard to deny a bomb when it takes a long time for you to stabilize your aim.
Right.
But it's only buffed against some class, and that's the thing. Like, engineer got buffed, but not generally. Like, I think that's good, because it's only really demo. Like, demo is supposed to be the counter for engineer, but he is really like the absolute extreme counter to engineer. There's no way that engineer could do anything unless you use the shitty short circuit. It's like, oh, I hate that weapon. Like, I'm not saying that. It's the same with mini sentries. I know that's ranting a little bit, but it's the same with mini sentries. Like, it's not OP at all, but it's just not very fun. It's just like, it's just not very fun.
It ruins your day.
Yeah, exactly. And that doesn't mean that it's broken or anything. Like, I would argue that the sticky launcher was a lot more powerful than than mini sentries because of the damage, but oh wow, pardon. But it's still not unfun to play as a Demoman against a Demoman, because you can easily counter him, like unless you're playing pups and he has a crits medic, but that's fixed now.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Let me check what stuff we got in the update. Actually, if there's any
Actually,
more.
the new demo shield.
Oh yeah, you're completely right. This I completely forgot about it. I can't believe I forgot about that, because I was when they nerfed Demo Knight by not allowing charge turning. I was looking at it. Oh, I can hear that. I was looking at it. And I was saying, I don't think it would be broken to have the ability to make like the weak booties or something. Make them make you able to charge turn perfectly. I don't think it's broken at all, because think about this: like your sticky launcher, at least pre-update, it was absolutely essential to the demo, and you're giving that away, and you're becoming more of a pick class. And now that you can perfect turn, I'm really happy about that weapon. This is really like, it's not broken, it's not overpowered, and it's super fun. Like, it's so much fun, and that's really what weapons need, I think.
Yes, it allows you to have the most fun possible as a Demo Knight.
And not ruin the fun for everyone else.
Right, because they're still putting themselves in really, like, a lot of danger just going up and charging at someone.
And you're putting, like, yourself, like, you would probably do arguably better with the sticky bomb launcher. I know that there in the loose cannon blueprint video I made, like, I talked with the flying Demoman, and pre Demo Knight nerf, like, he was destroying people with the clade and the shields. But generally speaking, you're gonna be more beneficial to your team with the sticky launcher. But this allows you to be more of a pick class. Like, you can turn around and get the medic from here.
Oh, yes.
And, it's a viable strategy, especially in pups. I doubt it's gonna be loud and competitive as always. Maybe we'll see Demo Knight in sixes, because the damage has been nerfed so much. I would love that. Like, I think that would be really fun. I think a lot of good Demomen a lot of very good Demomen would disagree, because they spent their freaking 3,000 hours on the class. But luckily, a meta is able to change. Like, it's just very hard for a lot of people to accept the change, because this has been the meta for 7 years. Like, it has been working for 7 years, and now you need to change it. It's been 7 years to refine this meta to the absolute best, and then Demo died.
And then it was slightly tampered with, and that actually changes a ton of things.
I'm curious to see if Demo is gonna stay with if nothing's. I doubt that it's just gonna go unchanged. I think that some demos might start using the Scottish Resistance, and then focus more play around the soldiers. I'm not sure, but I'm curious to see, especially because the season is going right now, and in I think it's in August. There's I-52. I'm not sure if you know about that. It's a big international TF2 event that's in England, where it's famous for its US versus EU tournament.
Oh yes, I think I've heard about that a few times.
So now that Demo's been nerfed, they don't have a lot of time to think up new strategies and assemble a new meta. So I'm curious about that.
I think what will come out of it will be very interesting for the rest of the world to know.
Well, I'm looking for. Oh wow, that's a long taunt. But this is my absolute favorite weapon, and I've been wanting these weapons for a long time. But I think, like, I'm not sure what's gonna come. Like, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a bread boss now. Like, that's gonna be a thing. But other than that, I'm not sure. I don't think we're gonna get any more weapons. I doubt it, but I really hope that we're gonna get some buffs to some weapons. Big Earner, I'm looking at you. Like, the big earner is probably the worst solution to a weapon you could pick right now. Like, 25 health might not seem like a lot, but it actually means that you can that you can't survive a direct pill, you can't survive a rocket, and you get nothing. You get more cloak, but you pick up their weapon anyway if you kill them. So like, you're gonna have cloak anyway.
Yeah.
That just needs to be reworked completely. And there are a lot of other weapons that just need, like the Eureka effect. I just think they made it worse, but like it's something, you know. Just do something with the crappy weapons that no one uses because they're obnoxious.
I think Valve is doing the right thing. Instead of, before this update, they had just completely changed a bunch of weapons to rework how they, function. And I think that's a great thing because it shows that, hey, we're going to try and turn some of these really bad weapons into weapons that people might actually want to use for once.
And it doesn't clutter anything because everyone has the weapons. There doesn't need to be a big fuss about it. Like the Extinguisher, you can agree or disagree with that. Like everyone can have an opinion on that, but like they just need to slightly change it because it's gonna be an entirely new weapon. Like the Eureka effect, it's gonna be fresh. It's gonna be something new. It's basically like it's just as good to me. Like a new big earner would be just as good as to me like a new spy knife, because you're basically taking away something that nobody uses because it's so bad, and then you're giving something completely new.
Indeed. So it'd be really awesome to see the big earner completely reworked, and it'd be like, hey, here's this new spy knife. What happened to the big earner? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Shh, under the carpet. We can only hope, but I'm pretty sure that there were like, it seems unrealistic, but there were 9 days in this update because apparently the day thing could go up to 9. Like the images went up to 9. If there's 9 days, I'm not sure what's gonna be put in those. Like, you could put a map for 1 day. You could put a new MVM mode. You could put weapon buff. That's 3, and you're still missing like. You're still missing 40, so I'm not sure what they're gonna put. Let's see what's coming up. It's been a while since one of these updates. Like the last one was the one with the loose cannon stuff, the Pyromania update. Wasn't that the update where they added those?
I think that was the Mecha Engineer.
Oh yeah, the Mecha update. Yeah. So that was like the last one where we got gameplays changing stuff, except for the 2 cities. Like. And it's been a while, like, that was back when I started playing TF2. Holy crap.
Actually, yeah, that was around the same time I started playing TF2 as well.
I remember getting the Pyrovision goggles and I was so proud of them. Like, oh wow, I was at this event and nobody else will get them if they join later. I'm gonna be, like, people are gonna look at me like people with the Grizzled Veteran and Soldier of Fortune and like, oh, he's played this game for so long. Oh, I want to be this veteran as well. Wait, are you equipping the base jumper as demo?
Yes, you can.
Really? Are you serious?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
You can.
Oh, as a primary.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that.
It ends up being very awkward because with both the sticky bombs traveling in an arc and the recent nerf that they got, it's kind of weird to kill people with it while you're just parachuting down.
Wow, I can't believe that. I didn't know that. That is awesome. Yeah, and then sticky jumping has got a big buff. Oh, I imagine all the flying capermen. Like, I can just see an army. Well, I have the Uber ready to go, and then there's 7 Demoman in like an upward server that are just sticky jumping with their capers and like hovering down towards me. Oh boy. No. No. Wow, that's fast.
I'm going to
Oh wait, I was using the in-game chat instead. Whoops.
Medic!
Clearly, I'm not very good at sticky jumping, but yeah, you can do that now.
Yeah!
Woo!
All right, I think let me just check the update page to make sure we got everything covered.
Oh, I remembered something. The Hitman's Heatmaker got a slight change.
Oh yeah, you can activate the focus with R. Isn't that the thing? Or with reload. Like you activate the
Yeah.
focus, it doesn't just like go.
Yeah, so
Kind of
now
like
you have
soda
the
power.
choice.
I like that. I still think it's a crap weapon, but yeah, I mean it's better now and it's more fun.
Yeah, because instead of having to hope that you can just start on a kill streak of, you know, focus shots, you can wait and you can just you can patiently wait it out until the right time comes to activate your focus.
Oh, I'm gonna beat you so hard you'll have a twitch.
All right, well, oh wow. Yeah, show off those taunts. I'm jealous. Let me do the flip. I want to do the flip, please.
Who wants a fountain?
Yeah, flip. Oh yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for helping me out with discussing these weapons. And of course, you're free to leave any comments you think about the weapons and tell me how wrong I am about the extinguisher and stuff. So yeah, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me in this discussion.
Bye bye.
See you later.